back. All right. That was fantastic. That song was not hand selected for Gary and Ross like Melissa's was, but still a fantastic song. So I do have Gary and Ross with me here today from the Infinity Matrix, and I was actually on an interview with them earlier today. So Gary Johnson is a retired master hypnotherapist, NLP master practitioner, and psychologistics trainer. Before retiring, he practiced for over 20 years and amassed almost 20,000 one-on-one clients sessions throughout his entire year. Holy crap, that is a lot of people. Currently, he is a business growth and marketing consultant and the co-creator with his partner Ross on a weekly live stream program that streams to over 300,000 people called Hacking the Infinity Matrix, which I was also on as well. So go back in there and plug into that as well. And then we have Ross Armstrong, a business owner, consultant, and former CEO of a multi-million-dollar companies. He's spent decades refining the materials currently offered in their program. Ross and Gary have spent hundreds of hours with clients developing systems and processes to get to the root of many people's challenges in a fast and concise manner. Today, they will be talking about the rise of the spiritual badass, and you guys all know how much I'm all about the spiritual badass. So a spiritual revolution is at hand, and the most influential will be the business owners, entrepreneurs, and the vanguards like yourself who have gifts that they need to bring to the world. You are needed. It's time to strip away the layers and limitations of doubt and step into the light. Feel your brilliance and let that radiate throughout and transform your identity into the business badass that you are. I welcome you, Gary and Ross.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Our pleasure.
Of course. So exciting to have you on for once, because I feel like the last times we've talked, I've been on your shows multiple times.
Yeah.
And each time has been wonderful. So we have many more planned for you.
Honor you. So floor is all yours. Do you need me to make you co-hosts? Are you sharing any screens?
Nope, we're good. Yeah.
I am in the background if you need me.
All right, buckle up and hold on. All right, so we're going to talk about the rise of the spiritual badass. And I want to ask you, the audience here, a few questions. Can you feel it? Have you heard the rumbles in the collective consciousness? Are you stepping confidently into your place in this emergence of human potential? Just take a look around you. The evidence is clear, and you've heard from other speakers today. They're clear of it as well. It's more clear than it's ever been that we are now in the most important time in history, and there's a calling for you to rise from your slumber, to rise from the ashes, to rise and bring forth your spiritual badass. And by the end of today's lesson, you'll get a simple yet powerful, what we call Infinity Matrix hack for the rise of your spiritual badass self. But before we jump into the content, you should know that we are big advocates, both Ross and I are big advocates in implementing what you learn and learning from what you implement. And that only comes with participation. So for those of you who are live, go ahead and let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from. Okay, and even if you've done it before for other speakers, we know that people are popping in and out all the time. And so as you jump on live, tell us where you're from, city, state, country, if you're outside North America. And actually, if you've been here for the other speakers, tell us how many speakers you've listened to already during the Quantum Maxima. We want some interaction from you in the comments. And don't go too far from your keyboard, okay, or your keypad, because we are going to encourage engagement to make sure that you are getting the content and being present.
We got somebody from Stockholm. We've got Hawaii.
Nice.
One I can't pronounce.
All right, great. So and so keep them coming when you come on to. We'll go back and forth and look at the comments as we go. So give me a hashtag time to rise. Hashtag time to rise if you are ready and willing to play along as best as you can. That's hashtag time to rise. And if you're catching this on the replay, act as if you're live, okay? And respond and interact in real time. Don't just sit it as a distant learning. Be involved. So you're not off the hook just because we're not here live with you. We will come back and respond to every message in the feed if it's on the Facebook chats. Okay. And if you're here in the Zoom, go ahead and respond as we're going. Type, and if you are on the replay, type hashtag replay so we can recognize you in the chat and come back and invite you in and maybe engage with you in some way as well.
Exactly. So, you know, we're not proponents of laying blame or pointing fingers. And I can say this, that your current status in life is a byproduct of society at large. Taking into consideration that there are thousands of different cultures blossoming in today's time, each with its own uniqueness of the human condition. There are threads of commonality throughout all of them, all of you. A commonality that binds us together as one species called humanity. And we are a race that has walked this world in one form or another for eons, fighting, crying, laughing, and loving. Yet one consistent thread weaves its way throughout all of time. Our insatiable need to grow and thrive, both as a civilization and, more importantly, as individuals. And we've determined that this need to learn and create, to be better, requires a very specific mindset, that of a spiritual badass. So today we focus on the rise of the spiritual badass. And just to clarify, badass is a state of mind. It's a state of confidence. It's a state of, I know what I want and I will not compromise. I will always look for a win-win. And that's what expansion alchemy is all about. So ultimately, our goal is to be the catalyst for you to be living that spiritual badass for the rest of your life, living life without compromise and setting new standards for what you are willing to accept as your destiny. A spiritual badass goes further and is someone who understands the structure of reality and has developed an intimate communication with the internal and external matrix from a place of complete choice, creating states of total flow and abundance. And then, through living one day at a time from that choice convergence point, impacting those who enter their circle of influence during this temporary human journey. Your spiritual badass is driven by a vision that seems bigger than the container of your body and the limits of your brain-body connection. It's accelerated by the actions that you take or don't take. And it's fueled by passion and purpose.
Yeah.
So
and
today we...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
That's right, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and so history has given us evidence to show that the early days of being a badass was all about physical violence matched with brute strength. But the essence of spiritual badassery was always about knowing what you wanted, as Ross said, knowing what you wanted and going for it congruently and confidently. And then aligning with your divine purpose and then piercing the veils of reality in order to set new standards and examples of human potential. And as humans, we got it wrong some time ago, right? It wouldn't be the first time, but we got it wrong some time ago. Somehow we got hoodwinked into believing that the path to spiritual evolution was only based on identity. Whether a person was labeled man or woman, child or adult, royalty or peasant, educated or unschooled, even black or white. Whatever name a person was labeled with, and for whatever reason, we somehow thought potential growth and evolution was dictated by those labels. If you think about it, in human history, it wasn't too long ago that a person was most likely to be born into being a badass simply based on their the societal status of their parents. So they didn't have to do anything other than be the lucky sperm that made it through. That was it. That was the criteria. And in some places around the world, a lot of these archaic practices are still being adhered to, right? And tell me in the chat, something that you feel that we got wrong as humans in the past and are still lingering in today's society. Let us know. We'll come back and comment on them, right? And in those archaic society structures, the illusion of power was fed through acts of being merciless, and only a few selected individuals were destined for the freedom, influence, and power that they wanted, while all the common folk suffered and were met with a glass ceiling as they attempted to rise above their designated status. Mostly it was knowledge that was kept from them, right? Necessary resources and opportunities were seldom presented. So their pool of choices often seemed very limited. And this meant that in many cases, they just had no way of competing, no advantages in their favor that could make them break through the fears and the limitations that shrouded them in order to be better, to live life from their personal truth, to go through life in total alignment with their spiritually evolving life force. And by the way, that's what we call yourself is the acronym spiritually evolving life force. So whenever we're talking about yourself in any way, shape, or form, Ross and I are always talking about your spiritually evolving life force as a way of being and being led by passion, purpose, and spirit. So the rise of the spiritual badass was inevitable because your connection with source, God, universe, all that is, whatever you label it, that connection can't be denied. It's eternal, it's infinite, and always evolving. The world is in a process of radical change. We've heard other speakers talk about that. You see it as evidence around the world. And the question to ask, the question you should be asking is, are you prepared? Are you prepared for that radical transformation in whatever path or avenue that you think that's going to go? Well, what we bring is an innovative new approach to preparing you as your ultimate badass self, spiritually evolving life force that guarantees results and is considered by many the next leap in personal, spiritual, and planetary evolution. Our human family is in the middle of the most significant transition since its emergence in Africa over 100,000 years ago. Be aware of this, okay? This transformation is revealing both unprecedented global challenges, disruptions, and awakenings that are making way for an unlimited wellspring of possibilities for each and every one of us and society as a whole. So we're at a crossroads, everybody. This crossroad is a crossroad of potential futures that has prompted us it's prompted us and other modern visionaries, including Dalai Lama, Michael Beckwith, Marianne Williamson, Brene Brown, Tony Robbins, Greg Braden, Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, you name it. All the speakers that are in this platform, in their own ways, are sending out a call for acceleration of personal mastery with a sincere commitment to forging the blueprint for a more open, loving, and collaborative society. That's what expansion alchemy is about. So it's not coincidental that Ania got her awakening for this. It's intentional from the conscious collective. She needs to be the spark to put this together in her unique way with her energy and her vibration. You've got your own energy, vibration, and spark to bring to the table. So if you hear these words speaking to you in one way or another to your soul, then you know that it has become increasingly more essential for us to be impeccable with our commitment to being fueled by passion, purpose, and spirit, being accountable and taking responsibility for our actions. It's time to shower ourselves and the world with a commitment to excellence that exceeds the ego and wakens us to genuine harmony with one another, with our highest self, and this amazing planet that we live on. The majority of society has been conditioned with a primary weakness. It's an insatiable desire to play it small and forget just how magnificent they are. We see it all the time.
Yeah.
They hold on to, they justify, they fight to hold on to their smallness, right? And it's because they've been conditioned that way. So they could always be distracted, have their emotions, thoughts, and actions influenced by others, which led to a life of living at the mercy of grace or chaos of others. That's not control. That's not empowerment, right? But what good is your badass power if it's tucked away, if it's kept in secret, if it's repressed by fear of acceptance or accepting just how great you could actually be? If you had that fear, what's it, and it's preventing you, well, you end up feeling like you have no choice in the reality you create, the opportunities that are presented, or the abundance that's omnipresent. But you do have choice, right? And that is your superpower. Your superpower is that you have choice, a power that is, if you're honest with yourself about it, you have had a deep and growling hunger for. Your mind is inspired by it. Your body is yearning for it. Your true spirit has been caring for it. And the world is begging for that superpower, your badass self, to show up. It's time to rise and show up as your spiritual badass self. And not just a momentary glimpse of it either. I'm talking full embodiment of your God, goddess self, radiating into every aspect of your infinite matrix reality, internally and externally. It's time to turn that dynamic and radiant you directly onto the darkness that's showing up in your life and in the world. Create lasting and more effective forms of empowered realities that we can all collaborate and participate in. And that's why Ross and I created the process we're going to be sharing through the expansion alchemy, called the infinity process, getting a full understanding of the structure of your realities that we experience, then encoding a language of enlightenment that is designed by us, for us, reflecting back to us reflections of the spirit in the matrix. So that means it's going to be designed by you, for you, reflecting back to you from your spirit in the matrix, day by day, moment by moment, as you strive to transcend the matrix into what many have called the next stage, an age of enlightenment. I mean, wouldn't that be cool? And we've been yearning for it. So in a little bit, I'm going to give you a taste of the infinity process in action. Like we've mentioned before, we strongly encourage implementing what you learn and learning from what you implement. So we put together a pile of what we call infinity matrix hacks that we're going to be sharing throughout the expansion alchemy. And they're simple things that you can do. And in doing so, you hack the infinity matrix so that the quantum field begins to serve you more consciously and intentionally. And the one I'm going to share a little bit later is called The Rise of the Spiritual Badass. It's pretty cool.
You know, the way we see things going, a spiritual revolution is at hand. And the most influential will be the business owners, the entrepreneurs, and the vanguards like yourselves, who have gifts that they need to bring to the world. You are needed. And it's time to strip away the layers of limitation and doubt. Step into your light. Feel your brilliance. Let that radiate through and transform your identity into the business badass that has been dormant inside. Wake up to the belief that the universe, the God force, the all that is, has your back and wants you to shine. Expand your capabilities so that you can consistently walk your talk, live your purpose, and design a reality that is most in alignment with your truth. This revolution is comprised of people like you who are committed to embracing their perfect imperfections and stepping confidently into an age of noble responsibility, enlightened action, and the embodiment of mastery level skill sets. So I'm going to cover some of these and ask that you just kind of play along with some of the interaction here, as we said before. There's quite a few of them. So I urge you to play full out. The energy that you put into this will reflect back into your reality, I promise you. Plus, you'll be keeping yourself alert and engaging your memory receptors in your brain, keeping it active. So wouldn't it be amazing to rapidly increase your personal growth curve for quickly integrating positive and lasting changes into your life? Give me a hashtag lasting changes in the comments. Okay. And what about gaining more control over how you think, feel, and act in every situation? How about a hashtag control, if you think that's important, or if you'd like more of it? What about rising above the crowd, slipping out of the storm and into the eye of the storm, but as a leader among leaders who's skillfully prepared for any and every situation? And so for that, let's do a hashtag rise above, if you think that that's valuable to have. And with that, could you imagine recoding the structure of the infinity matrix? Become fluent in a language of enlightenment, nurturing your soul in the matrix and being able to transcend into artistic expressions of possibility and love. How about a hashtag transcend? Great, some real active people. Thank you so much. So with that, imagine being able to massively reduce your daily stress levels. We could use that these days. And dramatically increase your clarity of passion and purpose. Now, what if you activate that just by typing hashtag stress be gone? If you suffer from any moment of negative self-talk, oh my God, it's critical to be able to replace the negative responses that you hear in your head with empowering declarations of reality that represent your potential. So give us a hashtag empowered. if that sounds something that you need. Because in these chaotic times, it's becoming increasingly more important to supercharge the internal world of neural activity and harmonize the outside world of materialism into an intimately connected network of empowering thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. So let's do a hashtag supercharge for that, because I think each of us would appreciate the skills to easily turn all obstacles into opportunities for personal, spiritual, and financial growth. Really think about the type of skill and type opportunities, hashtag opportunities. If you like the quantums, that so that you can show you more of these opportunities. And then we have the rise of the spiritual badass, ultimately gives you the ability to really control your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions for the rest of your life. So give me a hashtag spiritual badass in the chat if all this sounds like the type of being that you want to be, and the type of world reality that you choose to participate in. And these are just a fraction of what we're going to offer you, because we've committed to a year of putting on masterclasses about this for 1 year, just to start with. It's for those types of reasons that we decided to join Ania as monthly teachers. And that is the type of content we'll be bringing month after month after month for a year. And we invite you to take the first step in becoming a spiritual badass, and do that right now. Join us by clicking the link in the comments or the post and get yourself exposed to some of the most profound and transformative teachers on the planet. It's an amazing lineup. From what we understand, it's only the beginning. This is the type of register, the time to register while the launch membership price is so ridiculously low. I mean, really. So if you're catching this after the launch is over, the value you'll be getting monthly is still many, many times more than the monthly membership fee. Even if there is only one teacher, we look forward to seeing you in the expansion ultimate. We really do. Our training programs are designed to be a progressive approach to your badass mastery that combines the classic truths from the depth of human history with a comprehensive integration of current healing arts, neurosciences, quantum physics, and the distinctions of masculine and feminine energies. And to achieve profound transformations in yourself and in the world, it requires wisdom that is sourced from the most up-to-date change technologies, and your ability to implement what you learn and learn from what you implement. Because our programs have been significantly, specifically designed so that you can recognize, recode, and repattern the infinity matrix that you live in. It's time to level up your business badass. Will give you everything that you need to transform your approach to business success and the impact that you have on your clients, your customers, and the world. And many of our students begin to notice transformations within the first 24 hours. Most will begin to experience necessary shifts in their ability to create empowered realities within a few sessions. But the real impact is one that grows and it expands and lasts way beyond our monthly trainings. It comes from from reversing the ratio of disempowered versus empowered exposure that you get in your life every minute of the day. And that's why you should get exposed every month to this amazing collaboration of trainers in the Expansion Alchemy. These trainings are set up for those who dare to explore the boundaries of their potential. Expansion Alchemy will absolutely launch your life into the consistent harnessing of your infinite power to design reality unlike you've never, ever done before. You get exposed to our proprietary program called the Infinity Process, where we expose an existing code in your matrix of reality that has always been there, but you never knew it existed. And once you can recognize it, we'll show you how you can program that matrix code to rewrite, refine, and illuminate your infinite power into the world that you experience every moment of every day going forward. It does this by automatically interrupting negative patterns of behavior with empowering thoughts, beliefs, and actions that lead you to achieving extraordinary goals. Consistently recognize your negative emotions and easily shift them towards experiencing even more joy, celebration, and freedom, all while living your life as a person who easily overcomes challenges and grows effortlessly while uncovering these creative solutions. And it's going to introduce you to communities that embody the principles of love and support and collaboration like this, on being given a blueprint for enhancing or creating one of your own.
Yeah, and we've got so many, our lineup that we have set up for you guys is pretty amazing.
It is.
And month after month, it's going to build, and you're really going to enjoy it. So make sure you jump into Expansion Alchemy for that. And with millions of people actively seeking a world of collaboration, definitely more on the planet than there's been in my 40 years of growth and journey on this path of personal development and spiritual growth. I'm seeing it more and more. I'm seeing a lot more speakers talk about. I'm seeing it infused more into businesses. I'm seeing it infused into so many things. And you know, it's a world of collaboration, courage, and compassion. And it seems to have the potential of reaching the global tipping point in our lifetime, I believe. Right? You may have heard, you know, about the global tipping point when it gets to a certain point where it just becomes the norm for everybody. We're getting there. You know, it may in our lifetime may have seemed like, oh my gosh, is it ever going to get there? You know, people are talking about this forever. You got to remember, right? The lifespan of human beings on the planet, just a lifespan of human beings in the grand scheme of things, it's a very small amount. So, you know, if you have to wait 10, 20, 40, 60 years for something like this tipping to happen, it's really a small blip on the timeline of humans. I think we're there. I think we're close with all the things that have happened, all the disruptions, all the reorganization of stuff, all the, you know, as I believe Melissa was talking about, you know, the whole COVID thing of creating these experiences where people are going through mental stuff because they're being forced to go inward to find the solution source internally to come back out and radiate their truth, because we were so bombarded with looking for it externally, right? And you know, so these are exciting times. Think of these as exciting times, regardless of what you see in the storm of what's going on out there. Stay in the eye of the storm and see them as exciting times. Because in these exciting times where we are going to break free from the dark cocoons of our past, right? Where there's a desire for more natural order of existence is being felt within people around the world. It's time to liberate our truth, to embody enlightenment and experience the beauty of everyday life by living what's being revealed to us through the quantum field, or what we call the infinity matrix. Okay, and if you find yourself motivated by the possibility of a more enlightened society, and you're ready for a massive leap in your personal evolution, then there's a spiritual badass within you, and it's ready to live life with purpose, passion, and spirit, and without compromise. Okay, so that's our call. The rise of the spiritual badass is here. The time is here. There's a massive movement like we've never seen, and all the crap that's happened in the last 3 years and even before that, but definitely the compression of it in the last 3 years has facilitated that. It's put people into a place where it's kind of like, if you think of it as a metaphor, we've been backed into a corner so much that we're like, okay, the only way to go is die or get the fuck out of here and do something. Right? And so that's where we're at. So that's why we're really, I know Ross and I are actively pushing and supporting and giving tools for people to access that on a more regular basis. We've been actively getting out, doing more speaking engagements and collaborating with awesome people as we are in this program. And so before I go into the steps of the process we're going to do, the rise of the spiritual badass, I have to preface it by telling you that I start with the number 0 as the first step, okay? Because starting from a fresh place that is void of past conditionings or future expectations is one of the purest places you can begin any transformation from. And if you're at 1, you're already in a process somewhere. So start from 0. Plus, there's other reasons that we teach in our infinity process program that has other reasonings for that. So it's also prepping you for that when you jump into there. So step 0. First thing, step 0 is to take a few moments to connect with your higher self, your God force, your quantum self. However you do that, whatever that is, all that is, whatever you label it. Okay? Connect with your higher self. If that means meditation, if it means prayer, if it means whatever, if it's out in nature, Mother Nature, however you need to do that, connect with, so you get a sense of that connection with something other than the human vessel that you've chosen to embody. Okay? And then from there, create an imaginary circle or vortex on the ground in front of you. So you stand and you connect with that source, and then on the ground beneath you, on the ground in front of you, imagine a circle that's a vortex, one that will transport you into a reality of courageous integrity and the full realization that you're always greater than what you thought you were. Okay? So the vortex is going to transfer. Don't step into it yet. Some of you are cheating. Don't step into it yet. All right? I just want you to create the vortex first. All right? Create the vortex and have that, whatever that shows up for you, whatever metaphors that show up, whatever visualizations, sounds, feelings, sensations, just go ahead right now and do your best with the resources you have to create that vortex on the ground in front of you. It will transport you into a reality of courageous integrity. So feel what the energy of that's like, and full realization that you're always greater than what you thought you were. Okay? Then, as you step into the vortex, from there, step into it now, feel that sense and experience that, and get a sense of what excites you with that connection with Source, with that full integration of and realization that you're always greater than what you thought you were. And from that sense of what's exciting, get a sense of what excites you, that things that you are passionate about. Reconnect with that. Some of you may need to look back into your own personal history and notice that there has been sparks of excitement and joy. What are the things that initiated those vibrations? And as you become aware of those sparks, allow the biggest sparks, allow them to slip to the front of the line. Okay, so because some of them may be a long time ago for some people, where they had and then they got caught up in TikTok, and they TikTok not in the app, but I mean TikTok is 9 to 5 stuff. They get caught up in the limitations and the lack and all those kinds of things, and those sparks start to they get tucked away, right, and they become less and less bright. But there's some stuff that was in your past that are bright sparks, and let them slip to the front of the line or rise to the top of the pile, depending on how you're organizing it. And then make a commitment to completely align yourself to that vibration of your truth in your everyday waking life. And that's step 1. Step 0, create that circle. Step into the vortex. Step 1. You get that excitement, that sense of excitement, and notice what the sparks of joy and excitement are, the passion. Bring the bright ones, the big ones, to the front of the line, to the top of the pile, and then commit to aligning yourself to that vibration of your truth in your everyday waking life. Let that be your beacon, your true north, that magnetizes you into the future and the reality that you want. And then step 2, bring that now into your reality outside of the vortex. And the way you do that is by questioning. Where will you be when you're committing to and noticing your alignment with the core of your truth? Where are the situations, circumstances, and incidents in your life? Where will you be when you commit to that light, to that spark, to aligning with that vibration of what's most pure and true to your core? And then when do you intend or expect this alignment to occur? Think of all the different times. In the future, when are you going to expect this alignment to occur? And then who and what are all the things you experience as evidence in your reality when it's occurring? Things that are maintaining that alignment. What are they? Who are they in your reality? And then ask, why is it important for you to live your life fueled by passion, purpose, and spirit? So step 2 is all about questioning the reality components of this and how you can bring it into the reality. Because it's one thing to feel good about this stuff, but if you're not bringing it into reality, then you're not going to experience it. You're not going to be living it. And so then the final question in step 2 is, how will you know your reality is reflecting the rise of your spiritual badass self? What's going to be the evidence? How will you know? And those questions are very specific, because when you understand, remember we talked about the definition of a spiritual badass is understanding the structure of their matrix, and then creating a communication dialogue with the structure of reality, and then communicating in dialogues with the matrix, so that you're tapping into the spirit in the matrix, which is yourself, and then transcending the matrix. And so the questions that we're doing in there, the where will you be when you're committing it, is getting you to take from the quantum physics realm, it's the space, right? It's what's the space, because reality consists of space, time, matter, and energy, right? All reality that you experience has to have those. That, as far as we know right now, those are the four components and the four ingredients. Okay, there's some space, there's some time, there's matter, and there's energy. So by asking where will you be committing, you are then taking that experience and putting it into a reality formula for location, time, location. And then the time is, when do you intend to this alignment to occur? That's the time component. The who and what is the matter, the things, right? The hardcore things. The who and what are all the things you'll experience as evidence in that reality. That's maintaining that alignment. And the why is the energy, the emotion, the actions that are going on. It's all the energy around. So you've got time, space, matter, and energy all into that. And then the final question: how will you know your reality is reflecting the rise of your spiritual badass self? Just kind of is. It's working with your belief systems. It's working with all aspects of your psyche, so that you're saying that, hey, there's evidence of this reality now. So you don't seem like you're cray cray. Okay, right, Melissa? Right? It's right? Because you have evidence of that reality. And if you have evidence of that reality, it solidifies that reality so others can start to come around and resonate with it as well. Okay, now those are the 3 steps, right? Step 0, step 1, step 2. Now add that, or if you don't already have it, use it as your morning routine for 30 days. Add it to your morning routine, or use it as your morning routine for 30 days. Right? Step 0, step into the vortex. Step 1, you get a sense of what those sparks are. Remember, reconnect with them. Bring the brighter ones to the front. Step 2, sorry. You bring it into your reality by questioning the time, space, matter, and energy of it for 30 days. And notice how your reality starts to morph into one of more joy, happiness, and success and celebration. And come back and tell us about it. All right, come back on this post, or come back in as you join us in the trainings. Come and let us know that you've done it and that you've practiced it and the type of results you're getting. We love to hear the stories. We hear them all the time. Right? We're consistently in deep gratitude for the students who take what we have and actually run with it and implement the stuff. Right. One final thing before we go: to get a longer sampling of the type of content we deliver, we do have a 5-day challenge starting next Monday called 3 Steps to Level Up Your Business Badass. It's a free 5-day challenge fueled by passion, purpose, and spirit. If you'd like more info on that, you can reach out and connect with one of us, or drop hashtag 5 days in the comments, and we'll reconnect with you through DMs if you want to kind of join us on that starting on Monday. One final thing we'd like to leave you with, as we do with all our students: we dare you to be exceptional. That's it. Our every time we connect with our students, we dare you to be exceptional. We need more exceptional people out there. And the only way to do that is to implement what you learn, and learn from what you implement. Not just from what Ross and I have gone through today, but all the teachers and trainings yesterday, today, and what you're going to get for tomorrow. All right. So till next time, be well, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You are both exceptional. All of the teachers are absolutely exceptional. I'm having some conversations in the back end, and people have been asking me, they're like, where do you find these people? I don't find them. They all come to me. I am a vortex. I am a spiritual badass, and I am exceptional as well. The people in my horizon that I manifest into my life, holy crap. I was telling this story to Ross and Gary earlier today. I was sitting at a dinner table, and fun fact about me, I own 3 world records. Don't ask what about, they're very silly, but I have 3 of them. And we're sitting at a table. There's like 5, 6, 7, 8 of us tops. And between the 8 of us, we own 10 world records. That is the exceptional people that I call into my life. Like one person is more exciting than the other, is more exciting than the other. Together, we freaking rise, and we are in the rise of the spiritual badass. Ooh. Thank you so much for all of that, Gary and Ross. Let's take a 2-minute intermission and then get started with the Q&A. I've had some questions flow in as well. So thank you. I honor you. I appreciate both of you.
Thank you, everyone.